Good evening and welcome to 365 Days of Amazing Stories with Theo Mayer. Here we are on day 88. And the story I have to tell is called Potatoes, Eggs, and Coffee. Now, there was a wise father. He was actually a man who did many different things. But one of the things that he loved to do the most is to produce food from the land where he lived. He grew all kinds of things. He also had chickens and, well, a milk cow. I've heard he had a couple of goats as well, and I think he even had a horse. His daughter, well, she was almost 20. And one morning she was just really unhappy. She was complaining to her dad. Well, complaining, really kind of seeing life for what it was, but not feeling happy about it. She was like, Dad, I don't know how to keep going. I get through one problem, one challenge, and right afterwards, there's another. Then I get through that, and then something else happens. I feel like giving up. She went on a little bit, and her father listened to everything that she said, and he said, "Come with me." And they went into their kitchen. He took a few potatoes, placed them on the counter, got a couple of eggs, put them next to the potatoes, and then he got a handful of coffee beans, put those next to the eggs and the potatoes. His daughter looked at him kind of like, okay, now what? Another one of these things Dad does. But he took 3 pots and he put water in each one of them, and he put them on the stove and brought each one of them to a boil. In one of the pots, he put the potatoes. In another, he put the eggs. And in another, he put the coffee beans. He didn't say much. He just watched the potatoes boiling and the eggs and the coffee beans. Occasionally, he would put his hand over the boiling water and bring some of the steam toward his nose to smell what each one of those boiling pots smelled like. And his daughter, being curious, came over and did the same thing. And the only one that really smelled like anything was the coffee. The potatoes had a slight scent, but not much. The eggs, really none at all. But the coffee, it did have a smell. Well, after about 20 minutes, he turned the flames off. Now, he took a spoon and he pulled the potatoes out and put them in a bowl. He got the eggs out and put them in another bowl. And he took the water that the coffee beans had been boiling in, and he poured that into a cup. And then he had his daughter check each of them. Now she knew what was going to happen. The potatoes, well, they were going to be soft. They'd been boiling. The eggs, she knew, they was turned into hard-boiled eggs. The coffee, well, it smelled pretty good. Her dad said, each one of these three things, it's been subject to the same process, boiling water. We could look at that as if it was like a problem. The potatoes, they started out hard, robust, quite durable. But after 20 minutes of boiling, they've become soft, even mushy almost. The eggs, on the other hand, they started off very delicate. One little crack in that shell and the liquid inside would have just come out. But here we put them in water and they become hard, durable. And then there's the coffee. Put that in the water and boil it for 20 minutes and, well, have a sip of that coffee, which his daughter did. It was good. The aroma was good too. That flavor of the coffee was just, so rich and so diverse. He said, and there you have the coffee beans. They boil for 20 minutes, and what do? They actually change the water. Turn it into something completely different than it was before. That's how people can be, he said. Some people, they're confronted with a problem and, well, they start out hard and robust and they turn out completely softened by the whole process. They can't stand up to that challenge. Or like an egg, the process can make a person hard. Or a challenge can come up and imbue a person with creativity, with expansion, and with something new at the end of that challenge. All we have when we're confronted with things like this is a choice. A choice of how we respond to those challenges and what we end up with at the end. Okay, hope you enjoyed. That's the story of potatoes, eggs, and coffee. Have a good rest of your day.